Welcome back to BR163 on Farming Simulator 25. It's episode 6 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got another harvest job. I'm picking up contracts left, right and centre, and I'm going to keep doing it because I like doing it, and it's all about doing what you want to do and enjoying what you do. And that's what I'm doing. So, contracts are going to continue. Regardless, it's a good way to earn money. I'm resisting the temptation to start buying and selling used equipment and machinery. And again, I'm looking at other things I've done and other ways I've done it. And you know, yes, contracts is it's a constant, isn't it, when you think about it? But compared to Sunshine Forest, I've done no forestry at all. I haven't cut a single tree down yet, nothing. Done no wood transport contracts, which on Riverbend Springs, that's how I started out. Wood, you know, getting stuff done like that. That was always the fallback if there was nothing else to do. On Sunshine Forest, I said I wasn't going to do productions. No, I'm not doing it this time, I'm not doing it. And I got just drawn into doing productions, which was absolutely bonkers. I might do some greenhouses on here. I'm not intending doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of other things to do on this map. That's the great thing about it. The other gameplay things we can look at. So I'm not intending to, so I'm trying to change things up a little bit. And with that, we are complete. I say with that, I mean, it's like I snapped my fingers and it was done. No, not really. I'm going to sell all of it. I'm not keeping any of it behind. We did really well out the pea harvest a while back. So I don't know how, you know, that was crazy money. That was way beyond. I don't think this is going to be the same because this is the last of it. That's alright. That's alright. Yeah, actually, is that more than that might be more than the contract. I can't remember what the contract pays now. But that'll come up in a minute. So that's another one done. I'm going to keep an eye out for what's going on. I am going to. The trouble is, again, it's people. I've had people saying, "Oh, you know, you're making way too much money too early." But there's loads of stuff I need to do, loads of stuff I want to do. Have I got enough money to buy and do the things I want to do? No. That Stara 150 horsepower tractor just seems really gutless to me. It just doesn't have enough oomph. Which way am I supposed to be looking? That way up? Oh, I can't remember. That way? Yeah, that's right. So I think I need another tractor. It was less. That's good. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. I need some more equipment. Anyway, I've come to the store to buy some more liquid fertilizer concentrate. Haven't got any more herbicide one because at the start I haven't purchased that. That IBC sat there. That's herbicide. That's at the start. If you go back to, if you remember back at the very start, you do start with a pickup with a herbicide concentrate, a liquid fertilizer concentrate, and there is one IBC of herbicide sat there. So I'm just going to take that. I was going to get some more, but I'm not using that much herbicide for herbicide contracts. So I think what we'll do is stick this out. And we'll have to have a look as well at not harvesting, about our planting and harvesting windows. I might just have to bite the bullet and say, you know what, I'm going to stick grass in those two fields and then decide to do whatever with them. If I turn them into hay, if I do some silage and just sell the silage, regardless what the price is, just sell it all. Because at the end of the day, it's a crop. And if I do silage, and on other ones I've kept the silage for doing talc mix ration, I've used it for other things. I haven't sold it. I mean, on Sunshine Forest I had a ton of silage, never sold any of it. So my brain's now saying, well, why didn't you? That makes perfect sense to sell the silage. It's a crop. If I treat it like a crop, because there's not a lot of other crops I can do on here. So if I go for another tractor, I'm not going to go suddenly from 150 to a 500 horsepower tractor. I might get another 150 horsepower tractor. I might have a look and see what's about and have a fiddle around. That pallet really should not be on there like that. It really should be on there like that. I'm sure it'll be fine till we get back. And then we'll have a look at the windows. We'll have a look at the various different things for our crops, and we'll go from there, I think. We're back at the farm. It's 1:15 in the PMs. Just disconnected the front loader because I was just using that. These are the herbicides left over from when I unloaded the sprayer to put the liquid fertilizer back in. So 2 of these are liftable, and one of them isn't. That's the one you start with on the map. So That's been dumped off now, and the concentrators has been put over here. I've taken on 2 more contracts, one for cultivating. And this is where we're going to see. I've got that cultivator, and I've got my Stara at 150 horsepower. I don't think it's going to pull it, but we'll give it a go. Why not? And then we've got a spinach harvest, and I've borrowed the equipment for that. I'll get onto that maybe towards the end of the episode. So what I'm going to do is... That's a good point. What am I going to do is... Oh yes, we need to do a test. Because I might sell this. It's that frustrating thing, isn't it? Of at the right time, if this works, we're fine. If it doesn't, we're not. Obviously, I'm going to put grain in this, and if it still tips to the floor, then I'm not sure what I can use this for. If I can just use it for picking up pallets, I've got a front loader. So, yeah, yes, it's cheaper than a skid steer loader. So I guess I could keep it and just use it for pallet work and maybe a bit of light bale work. Yeah, potentially. We've got our front loader over there. It seems excessive for that, but it's easier than having to keep attaching and detaching the front loader. But again, first world problems, isn't it? We'll load this up and see. We'll have a look in the menus, because I also don't know whether or not our 150 horsepower rig is going to pull the seeder. Can we not get anything? Oh, there we go. What have we got stored in here? Oats. Right, so we're fine. You know what? It was obviously just because it was stone. 3,000 litres of stone, it just did not like it. It was just too... I mean, obviously, you know... Yeah, I don't know. So we can use it for a few bits and bobs. It just didn't like the stone. It gets a reprieve. We're keeping it. That's a good point, actually. How are we looking over here? Whoa, dude! 24,671 litres of limeage. If we click on there... Oh, we've run out of stone. Okay, cool. Being that it was an 11 to 10, so we lost a little bit in the process because we bought over 30,000 litres of stone. Oh, I used some, didn't I? I did some liming. I'm thinking, that's very low. What? No, we used some, didn't we? We've still got water in there, so that's good. So if we need to go and get some more stone at some point for lime, we absolutely can. We've got plenty of lime to be getting on with for the time being, so that's all good. I'm wondering whether or not this will have the oomph to pick up the pallets, because I'm thinking it's time to get tooled up, you know. Gangs of London style, you know. No, not really. Not at all. Do I go and get some forks for this, or lease some forks for this, whiz down to the store and pick up a pallet of tools? Now the pallet of tools is going to set me back, I'm sure it was 10 grand it said, and take those to the bridge so we can get that underway. I think that might not be a bad idea either, because that was something I was considering doing, so we can get tooled up. Look, an East End gangster. Right, but what we've got to do as well is let's check on our menus regarding this. So, right at the very top, we're in the planting window for barley, but the harvest window for that barley is December, January. So we're going to go almost like a full year round, and I want to do some sugarcane. The problem is with sugarcane, the planting window for sugarcane is in September, October. We're in the harvest season now for it. I haven't had any contracts come up for sugarcane. It's interesting actually, because there's quite a few big old sugarcane fields. So if I plant barley in my fields, and the bottom there it says wheat, so I can do wheat and barley now, I can plant them, but can't harvest them until January, February. If I do that in both my fields, that means when we get to our planting window for sugarcane, I've got crops in my field which I can't harvest yet, and I can't plant my sugarcane. So my logic to this is, why don't I? Because we can put grass still in the ground now and we can harvest anytime. If I put grass in the ground now and let it grow, and we can harvest it whenever we want, and we can get multiple harvests out of it, I can use that grass, as I said earlier, for doing silage work or whatever it might be, just to keep it, it's earning us money, it's got earning potential. And then when we get around to the sugarcane window, I just cultivate it in. We cultivate it in, or just plant directly over the top, or whatever. However we need to go about it to do our sugarcane. The fact we're on a South American map, I want to do, you know, I haven't done sugarcane in forever. So yeah, I think maybe that's the way to do it. So I think grass might be something we're going to do. Maybe. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head down into town. I'm going to grab some pallet forks. Now again, this is the problem, because I don't have a rear weight on this. If I try and pick up a pallet of tools and the pallet of tools is too heavy, I'm not going to be able to move it with this, which then becomes a problem. And I can't remember if the little place down the road, and I've got to remember what place it is down the road we need to go to, whether or not there was a forklift down there, because if there was, then maybe we just bring down a trailer and we load it onto that. But if we can use this, we'll use this first. I'll see you down there in a minute, we'll do that. Then I'm going to whiz up and we'll have a go and see if our tractor will pull out cultivator, and we'll do the cultivating contract. And then potentially we'll get some seeding done, we'll get some grass in the ground. Why not? And then we need to do some, once we've got the grass in the ground, liming's been done, we'll then get our nitrogens on top, which should be fine. While I am doing this, it depends how many people watch this, save the date, ladies and gentlemen, save the date. October the 11th. October the 11th, there is going to be a charity event occurring. I talked about this a while ago and said we were going to be doing a charity event with the Country Trust. We have a few content creators on board already. We've got potentially a couple of special guests who won't necessarily be joining us for the gameplay, but I might be doing a couple of interview call type things with a couple of people, which is going to be quite cool. There's going to be fun shenanigans. It's going to be quite a long stream. I think we're going to be looking at potentially 6-8 hours or something. It's going to be a full-on proper event. So yeah, it should be starting about between 1 and 2 p.m, maybe 1 p.m, maybe 2 p.m. That will be decided at a later date. Obviously we're running out of time, so we start advertising now. I'm going to put in the description as well the link for donations. The Country Trust are using Tiltify, and I think they've got that all set up and ready to go, and I'll put that link because it's live already. Anyway, you can donate anytime you want to the Country Trust, and you can donate to on the Tiltify thing once it's up and running. I'm not saying you have to, I'm not begging people to, I'm not, you know, we are going to be doing an event, and it's that quid pro quo thing of we're going to do a charity event, we're going to be playing gameplay, content creators you know of and probably like as well, like, you know, we're going to be doing some fun stuff, and we're going to be entertaining people and that kind of thing. But I just thought I'd mention it, save the date, Saturday the 11th of October. I am really excited. I'm really nervous. I think I'm hosting the first segment, because I think the initial plan was I would host the whole event and then people would join me. I can't do 8 hours hosting on my own. That's a lot of work, a lot of prep and a lot of setup. So I thought, you know what we'll do? Let's talk to people and see if they want to do their own sort of segments. I think we've got a few different people doing their own segments. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff we're going to be doing. Hopefully, that's the plan. So, but yeah, I'm probably nervous. There's a lot to set up and run. Now I think it's here. So, was it here? Bricks, concrete slab, concrete. Yes, it is. Rebar, mining equipment, tools. There you go. That's interesting. 6,120. Hang on. If we go to the online store brochure, palleted items, pallets, tools, 10 grand. 5,000 litres. Oh, are we going to be able to lift it? Mining equipment, 10,000 litres. Nope, definitely won't be able to do that. Rebars, 5,000. Yeah, but look at the prices. Here, it's only 6,000 and something. It's well worth coming to the company. So where are we at? Where are we at? Constru Farm. So it's a construction company. I've got a load of what's going on at the back here? Look. Yeah, look, all this stuff. I don't think they have a. I guess what I could do, I could always pop to the store and borrow their. Oh, have it? Oh no, that's decorative. I was just about to say, oh yes, they. No, they haven't. I could always go to the store and borrow their forklift and drive that all over, I suppose, if I needed to for some of the heavier gear, maybe. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's that frustrating thing of it's the wrong thing at the wrong time, isn't it? If that rear weight, if there was a rear weight available that hooks onto a hitch like that, which gives you weight on the back, or this came with a weight that can, you know, it'd be perfect. It'd be absolutely spot on. And it'll be fine for the farm stuff, it's just frustrating for that. So tools, we're going to buy one. So that's out of our pocket. Like I say, it's a labour of love, because I'm pretty sure when we take this and drop it off, we don't get paid for it. So as with some of the things you do where you are building something, you get paid when you deliver the goods. You don't on here. So I suppose it begs the question. People say, well, then why are we going to bother? Why would we do that? We're trying to make it safer for Grandpa Walter, so he can get out and about without risking his life going across a couple of wobbly logs. That's what we're doing it for. For love, people, for love. I assume we collect it in here. Making a lot of assumptions. Open the gates! And I think it's straight up that road, isn't it? I think that's it there. I hope that's it there. I hope we can lift 5,000 litres. If it's like the stones, then we are really in trouble. Look, forks, not tension straps, nothing dodgy. Come on, work with me here. No, you're swine. Oh, come on, really? The problem is it's too heavy. I can't even. I'm just thinking if I can curl this back towards me, I can't even lift it high enough to get it onto our flatbed. No. Oh, this wheel loader. It had such promise. I really wanted it to work. I really, really did. I'm now considering, do we just bite the bullet and say to the store, you know what? Do you mind if we borrow your forklift? A long-term borrow, lease type deal. And I bought these forks as well. Did I borrow them or lease them? Can't remember. Oh. Right. Is there a cheap telehandler? Maybe a cheap telehandler. I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look and see what's going on. Pallet box have gone. Buckets here. Wheel loader. Money's gone down. We have purchased our John Deere and a set of forks. It comes with all sorts of cool gear, so we bought all that. Right. What are we going to get for it? 36, so we've lost a little bit. That cost us just over 40. Bucket? Why did I pay for the bucket? I can't remember now. Anyway, so let's sell that. Let's sell that. Puts a bit of our money back. I think we spent 95,000, I think it was. And there we have it. That's cool. And you can have the trailer hitch thing, and it's got PTO. So, I mean, we'll see now, won't we? If I need to get a weight for it to transfer that, we should be fine. But all the engine is at the back. It's all over the back, so that's the whole point behind it. It should be a better thing. Also noticed beacons, lights, got doors or anything like that open. Don't know. I don't think I've ever had a John Deere telehandler before, have I? That's pretty cool. Yeah, just noticed our gear, our equipment we've got for doing the spinach harvest. Look, got one of the new Mercedes. One of the new Mercedes. This didn't go far enough as far as I'm concerned. It's not. It's got a rear trailer hitch, which is great for attaching to trailers, but that fifth wheel only attaches to one trailer. Because this is agricultural and most of the trailers don't, semi trailers don't have agricultural tyres. I kind of get that. So you've got all this rear attachment gear and PTO and stuff. The real world version has a front 3-point option with PTO, which they didn't give us, which I don't understand. Because it's the Hyzo truck. That's the whole point. It's an agricultural. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm getting up on me soapbox again. Hyde Park corner. Anyway, let's see how this works. I'm getting sidetracked again. Beacon on. Let's give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I have to whiz up to the farm and get a weight, but I think we're probably going to be okay. I installed this a while back. I thought, oh, I'm going to get a telehandler. Then I thought, no, you know what? I've done a lot of telehandlers, but to be fair, I've done this one before. let's go wheel loader. And I'm glad we did this. Hang on, I'm not going to hit the how wide does that go? We're either side of those supports or not? Oh, just let me do it anyway. Come on. Oh, you little beauty. Don't have tension straps on this, do we? No. Just to double check. So, we are now tooled up. Well, the bottom right, I suppose it's not going to say tools, is it? What just happened? Hang on a minute. I just lost a load of money. Oh, come on. Give them their due in the store. Sound. They were good as gold. They realised a mistake had been made, a clerical error, not to worry. They reimbursed me the £3 grand. So we're okay. I've just got to make sure I go nice and wide, give it a wide berth. Whoa, what happened there? Well, we're not central, are we? The whole thing seems to be moving. Right, let's try it again. Let's go right out here. If this does this again, I'm going to be really angry. I must have just clipped the corner of the sell point. How annoying is that? Anyway, let's get these tools out. This is a proper labour of love now. Have I said that again? Probably. I should be loading this onto a trailer or my little flatbed lorry and bringing it out, but it's just up the road. And we've got ourselves a new bit of equipment which I wasn't anticipating or thinking about buying today, so it was not my intention. And to be fair, we've got ourselves a tractor unit, 145 horsepower. We've got the front gear we can put on that, and there's also a 3-point link attacher, although I wouldn't have a PTO for the front. I think that's for moving headers and stuff like that. And we've got the rear 3 points, so we can run all sorts of gear with this. So yeah, not bad at all. There you go. You can see the farm across the way. I'm sure it's tools this requires. Don't know how far up we need to go for this, but we'll double check. Hang on. Yeah, bottom right it says concrete bridge, required materials, next step, tools. And then we hopefully we'll do the thing. I don't know how long it's going to take, no idea, but hey, first step will be complete. Oh, we've sunk in the ground again, haven't we? There we go. Delivered. What's it asking for next? Required materials, next step. Tools. Storage. Tools. Anyway, it's using those and then we'll find out what's needed next. I'm going to whiz up the track, head back to the farm. Should I do the seeding first, or do the cultivating? What should we try first and see if our tractor doesn't have enough horsepower? It's always the things in your brain you assume are going to be the quickest and easiest jobs to do. It's the same in real life, isn't it? You allocate a certain amount of time, you think, okay, I'm going to do this. It only take about an hour, it only take about half an hour, and it's always that job that then ends up taking 4, 5, 6 hours because something goes wrong. You don't have quite the right tool, and it's always that thing of you think, well, you know what I've got, I can make it work, it'll be fine. No, I can do it with what I've got. And then you start trying and it doesn't quite work, and then you finagle something and you try something and you adapt something, and you stop and you think, had I have got the right tool in the first place? And a lot of times there's a monetary implication to that, I guess, isn't there? If you're going to go and buy a tool, or you can lease tools these days as well, if it's something you're not going to use regularly, and having that tool would have saved you so much time. It's always the way. Or a skill. There's a skill set. It's always that thing. My dad always used to do that. Why am I going to pay someone else to do it when I can do it myself? And inevitably, it was. I mean, give him his due. He did all sorts of stuff over the years, and he taught himself all sorts of trades, all sorts of things that he didn't know how to do, and he taught himself. There were a lot of things he taught himself to do, and I use the word taught in inverted commas. and it was never never quite how it should have been. And he always thought once he'd done that, he was an expert. He was an expert on that, but he wasn't, because often then issues arose and problems happened, and you know, I could tell you so many stories, but I won't. Right, let's see if we can. Let's try the seeder first. This is where it says not enough horsepowers. Did I leave the seeder? Oh, I was right next to it, wasn't I? Let's try grass. Has it moved again? No, it doesn't seem to have. Maybe it's just because it's up against the post or something. Right, so we want sorghum. So it's just everything, doesn't it? Green bean, wheat, barley, oat, canola. Oh, I've gone past it again. It's a bit you can't go backwards on these. There's wheat, barley, oat, canola, long grain, oilseed, grass. There we go. So I said we could do wheat and barley, but that's not going to help if we want to do sugarcane. We could end up having enough money by then to buy another field maybe with sugarcane in, but for the time being, you know what? Let's do it. Let's unfold this. Let's see what happens. This is where I find this needs like 250 horsepower or something. We might get away with it on the down stretches. On the up stretches we might not. So it might be a case of, I know it's sort of that worst case scenario thing, of do we just turn it on, drop it down. Okay, we're not getting a message. That's good. That's not good. Oh, come on. Is it actually doing anything on the ground? I don't think it's actually... Oh, you know what would be an even better idea? Well, you know what would be a fantastic... Although it's only going to run at 1 mile an hour. Putting some seed in it. If I'm going to do seeding, what would be a great idea would be to put seed in the seeder. Farm dog's just come in to say hello. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. So it's not going to work, is it? Oh... Now I'm pretty sure if we use that broadcast seeder, it's not going to do it as a direct drill, so we're going to need to cultivate having mulched. Oh, this is so annoying. Is this going to be too big to get under here as well to put the seed in? Do we need to open the covers? This isn't going to fit, is it? Oh, maybe it will. I'm looking down thinking, that makes no sense. I know it's because it was going so slowly. I couldn't see underneath it. I'm thinking, no, surely by now we must have had something growing. Look. Let's jump in that. I suppose it could be argued at this point, do we need this? We've got that. Actually, no, to be fair, this has got a front loader. We've just bought the wheel loader. So if we're doing work that this would be doing, do we need this? Probably not. I could probably sell the front loader and the bucket and the bale forks, and we get bale forks for the telehandler, not wheel loader, the telehandler. But is it worth keeping this around for doing small jobs like spraying and stuff, and then replacing the 150 horsepower Stara? No, I don't know. It's my own fault. I thought I was being clever with the seeder and I wasn't. Right. Can we unload this? We can. That's the lime out. Now if I can switch this over to a seed unit, put some seed in and try it. I don't think it's going to work unless unless it's been cultivated, but again we can try, I guess. So customize seed distributor. Didn't cost anything, so that's good. Make sure we attach it back on. Let's go and put seed in this. Switch our seed over to grass. Can't remember what the spread width is on this either. We can certainly try it. No. 2 around the outside, but not the middle, I think. No. Oh. Next plan. So my options are smaller seeder, but direct drills, what I need. But I'm pretty sure all the small ones that are available I've used already. Again, it's the downside with precision farming, isn't it? Or larger tractor, which I didn't want to go too large too soon. Wasn't there one that had an option for a 300 horsepower conversion? Smallish tractor, but with a... Was that one of the Fiats? Maybe. So, what I'm going to do now, let's take the same tractor out with our cultivator. It's not going to work, is it? Do that, that and that. Kind of lift these up by hand. Yep. So we can put that back in the silo. So, the Dalbo on the back, I'm pretty sure requires 180 horsepower, something like that. So the same thing could happen again. This is the field. Come on. Once we get into gear. It is it's the equipment and machinery we started with, that we arrived and it was here at the farm. The equipment we have is too big for the tractor, and because we've got a few bits of slightly larger, I mean this is only slightly too big, and it's going to take me forever doing like this. I'm just embarrassing myself. Do we just bite the bullet and say, you know what, the tractor's got to be replaced? I like it. It sounds great. And like I say, with the right... It's not the tractor's fault. I don't know how I made such a mistake. It doesn't matter. It's happened now. So that stopped. Seeding stopped. That may have just rung the death knell for the Stara. There's some Valtras and stuff knocking about, some South American ones, a few Masseys. I had a look at some of those in the brochures. They're quite expensive. We've only got 110 grand at the moment, so obviously we can sell this. I'm not going to get a huge amount of money for it, but leave it with me. Let's see what we can do. Today is a day for unexpected things, and again it's going to depend very much on the thumbnail, so you probably already know this. As I was driving back, I suddenly thought about the hyzer mat. I thought, oh, hyzer mat, horsepower, so I thought, rather than coming out looking through the brochures trying to find a tractor, and I thought, you know, we could go for one that's similar. There's a few Fiats knocking around that can get up around there, but I'll have a look at the base game tractors, because there's a 2 or 3 knocking around. There's that base game Deutzfahr, the 881. That's 235 or 240 horsepower straight off the bat, not too expensive. I thought, you know what, we can do that. Then I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, what did we just have out? What did we just get? And I've always wanted one, and it actually, you know what, now's the perfect time. We're still going to be 10 horsepower short for the seeding, but I think 10 horsepower we might get away with it, you know. So what are we going to get for this? 59,000, so not quite 60. Do we repaint it? I'm going to put 2,000 into repainting it. Repair it? Yes. It didn't make any difference. 2,113, do I do that? Am I going to get that back? That'll do. So, let's sell it. Is this going to work? Is it going to work? Let me go to the store. Oh, I'm excited now. This again. This. I know people say, "Oh, this is such a set." No, not a setup at all. I genuinely was going to come in, have a look around, and I was going to go for one of the Fiats. I'm sure there's a Bura model that's got a chip tuned to 300 horsepower. You know, I thought, well, you know, I'm sure there was one on Sunshine Forest, and I shied away from it, but could have done. There's no one here again. Look, they're hiding. Every time I come in, they hide. 94,250. 240 horsepower. Yeah, boy! Why not? I mean, it's a complete and total self-indulgence, and I don't care. Hadn't even crossed my mind. That'll do what we need it to. We've got a Unimog. We're mogging it. A Brazilian mog. Oh, well, let's see how it gets on with the cultivating, and then we'll see how it gets on with the seeding. Oh, come on. It's like I did say when I did the Mercedes-Benz pack review, mod review, I am a little bit disappointed. Yeah, we've got the flatbed on the back here with tension straps, which is great. We can put the sides back on it if we want to, which gives us a capacity. We've got trailers and stuff. I thought actually having a back on this might be more beneficial. Like open back like this, platform back. And they didn't give us more options, because you can go for the agricultural platform or just the flat bit. There was no, you know. The trouble is, from my perspective, doing what I do, it feeds into what people complain about, and I don't know if giants realise it or not when they do things like this. To do the whole look, we're doing a good thing here. We've done this, we've done that. We've left the back bit, so if modders want to develop it, and what's the next one up? Yeah, if modders want to develop it and add backs to it, they can. Aren't we awesome? We've done a great thing. But then people's argument to that is, but giants are doing what they always do. They've given us something, which is, you know, it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But they're expecting it to be made better by other people. Plus, I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's kind of where my brain went with it. You know, had they just bought this out and then not given modders the opportunity to change things, that would have been a whole different animal. And obviously I've just realised this goes at 55 miles an hour, so it goes at lorry truck speed but with tractor utility. Now we'll see. Will it do what we need it to do? Fingers crossed. For this it definitely will. Will it with the seeder though? You know what? I'm surprised, because this cultivator, when do we get 80 miles an hour? I was going to say, this cultivator requires 180 horsepower and we've got 240, but it just needs to get into gear. We are going at 9 miles an hour. I'm thinking, that's weird. Why is it not going up a gear? It doesn't need to. It's going to need to drop down a cog though. I'm surprised. That's not tyre choice. Just needs to find the right gear for what it needs to do. There we go. Now we're cooking. Moggage. Don't mess with the mog. I'm just going to keep finding different phrases to say. Can you tell I'm excited? I love it. I love it. Come on, change gear again. Go. Weapon there. There we go. Find a gear. If you can't find them, grind them. Let's go. Well, that's interesting. Once we've hooked onto the back, we remove that back panel so we can see down towards our hitch. That's pretty cool. Unexpected surprise. Right, I'm going to get this done, and let's see if we can get this to pull the seeder. Now, the fact it's a direct drill, I don't know, we'll see how we get on. It should do. I don't want to sell this now to buy something else because I'm finding this would be lacking as well. 150 to 240 horsepower. It's not a huge leap. We haven't gone, 150 horsepower to 800 or something, Actually, I have gone with the Alliance tyres. I probably should have gone with a more tractor-oriented, knobbly style, but cultivating contract is complete. We're bouncing our way back to the farm. I'm genuinely surprised that I surprised myself with this. I really, yeah. This is not to plan at all. So what we're going to do now is see if we can get the seeder to work. If we get the seeder to work, then we're rocking and rolling. Now, am I at some point going to get another tractor? Maybe. We'll see how this does. Like I say, it's interesting the way the gearing works, because I suppose because it is a road vehicle, you're combining that road vehicle truck with tractor compatibility. So it hasn't got some of the tractors that have like the CVTs and stuff like that are much smoother in that progression between gears, especially because they're designed to be pulling up and down hills with equipment and machinery. And I guess that's why the gearbox was doing what it was doing. So I guess now, that back plate goes on. I guess that will swap out again now we put this on. Fingers crossed, because we are 10 horsepower out on what this requires. So again, sometimes you can get away with it with tractors. Depends on the hills. Sometimes you can't. Well, that's a lot of weight on the back. Look how much we lifted. Are we going to get wheel spin on the front? Maybe I should have gone for tractor tyres on this. Mind you, I suppose we can put our front weight on this, can't we? Can we? So we can put our front weight on. Should be able to. It's a 3-point, isn't it? Where did I leave it? There we go. I'm smiling like an idiot. I'm still smiling. Right, let's see. Let's see if we have the same result. Potentially, let's open it up. I'm curious here actually. This was a direct drill, wasn't it? Because my grass, bottom right, although it's switched... Oh, there you go, now it's gone down a litre. I was going to say, it doesn't appear to be going down. We're working! It's doing it! Yes! Yes! That is a result. And I will happily take that result. Let's say, how we're going to do uphill, not so sure. Am I going to do both fields? Just think actually, should I do one of these so we can put sugarcane in it, or do we do it all sugarcane? Should I do the whole lot sugar? Yeah, I'm going to do grass now, so then potentially later on we'll do the whole lot sugarcane. Yes, we'll do that. Come on. You can do it. So I might do what I did with the liming and go straight across. Would make sense, wouldn't it? We do own a roller, don't we? Yes, we do. So as you can imagine, this is going to take a bit of time. We are then going to have to start looking at, again, like I said, yes, I'm earning money, yes, I'm doing contracts, yes, the money goes up quite quickly, but then as soon as you start buying equipment and machinery, it goes down quite quickly. So we're going to need to get some kind of mowing rig stuff. We've got our little mower, and that's for feeding the goats, but I'm talking about a bigger prospect bit of kit. Look at what we're going to do about, if we are going to do silage, and if I am going to do silage, we are going to do it to sell. Do I make bales and sell bales? So I do silage baling rather than silage clamp. I think we might do that. We'll do silage baling rather than silage clamp, and we'll sell the bales. So they'll need to ferment, which they would do in a clamp anyway. And that will solely be to sell. So that it becomes then the grass is a crop, which I suppose technically it is anyway, isn't it? I suppose because we always, you know, if you've got a garden and you've got grass in your garden, you don't consider your grass to be a crop because you cut it and you probably throw away the clippings or, you know, put them in a compost heap, whatever you do. But I guess, yeah, that's the big difference, isn't it? It's changing that perception of what it is and what you're using it for. Let's see how we do uphill. Awesome stuff. Right, I will see you later on once I've got both fields grassed, and then we'll grab our liquid fertiliser and we'll get some nitrogen down. What a rig! What a rig! We're done. Seeding's done. I'm going to do my nitrogening now, I think, and then we'll. You can actually get the Iceria, not Iceria. No, you can get the sensors for the wing mirrors on these as well, actually. Which I suddenly remember. But I've got my tractors for doing that, for my spraying of nitrogen. And then I'll probably roll off camera. I collected on our contract for the cultivating. That was 11 grand. That was. So we did alright on that. And I think this is probably, once we start doing our spraying, where I'm going to end. And let's say, I know I've gone on about it a lot during the episode, but I'm genuinely surprised the direction I end up going in. I wasn't intending buying a John Deere telehandler today. That was not the plan. And I thought potentially I was going to go for a different tractor and get something a little bit. I was going to go for something maybe 150 horsepower. I thought if that pulls the cultivator, no problem at all. And if I can manage to pull the seeder, then fine. I might just swap out the tractor. And then I thought, you know what, let's up it. I was not in any way, shape or form thinking of, well, yeah. It's a result. I'm happy with both of those. So let's get these put away. Lights off. Weights off. And then we will get some nitrogen down. Yes, I've got a roller. I thought I had one. Whoa, mind our little workstation. Now, do you get Unimogs in South America? I don't know. I haven't done any research. So I say, because this was a kind of momentary, oh, I know. But again, there's got to be an element of, you know, I've tried to start off with, or at least have some South American style stuff and things knocking around. And I guess because I was just taken by the whole, you know what, I want to do something for me. Let's get something I want to use. I mean, I'm saying I don't want to use any of the other stuff. But the other stuff just fits. So, stand there while that slowly sinks into the mud. Let's grab this. Let's grab these. Oh, we must have a full milk because we've got a second one spawned there. A lot of weight over that front axle. Should have done the back first. Definitely should have done the back first. Gently, gently. Just need to get to that 3-point. Come on. There we go. Now we're good. Right. Ah, now I do need to change some settings, don't I? Because I've got it set on for doing fertilising contracts. I haven't got automatic application rate on, so I need to change that. And I mean, technically, those sensors on the front, again, I think it's if you've got crop come out of the ground. So in its first growth stage, once your crop starts to come out of the ground, the sensors will pick up on what's where and give you a more accurate reading. I'm just going to put it down now based upon the fact I have got grass in the ground. pH is good. Nitrogen isn't saying anything. That's curious. Hang on a minute. Why is this not showing soil, sandy loam, pH, nitrogen? Why are we not showing a crop in the ground? We just planted. It used a load of seed. It was... No. What happened? How have I not got any... That's it. I don't understand. Hang on. I've never encountered this before. This field was harvested. This field was harvested. Weeds grew. So we mulched. We mulched. We limed. We limed. We've just planted grass. It's done that entire field. I didn't cultivate either of them. I didn't plough either of them. We've got a direct drill. And it hasn't put any grass down. I don't get it. I'm going to have to do something off camera. I'm not sure what though. That does say needs ploughing. Has this one previously been ploughed? No, it can't be that. I've got a direct drill. That's the whole point. You don't need to. I don't understand. If I now have to plough this, it was. What I don't understand is though, when I was doing this, it was using seed, so it was doing something. Oh, let's swap those while I just go through the gap. I'll get this side done. I'm going to have a look off camera. I don't understand what's going on there. There's got to be some weird reason, isn't there? Right, so we need to activate automatic application rate. Boom, done. I need to... Do I turn on my crop sensor? It's not going to hurt to turn it on, is it? It says it's on. Let's open that up, bottom left. There we go. We are applying our liquid fertiliser onto our grass on this side, which will then get rolled. The other side, I don't know. I'm going to have a look. That's a weird way to end. There's going to be 1,001 reasons why that's done that. It could be the map. It could be something else. I might save it, come back out and come back in again and see if it's shown as grass. I might try and direct drill a different crop rather than grass, maybe wheat or something over it, and see what happens. I really don't know what to do for the best. Let's stop there a second. Let's jump out. Whoa, this should be saying perfect, perfect, perfect. pH good, okay. Nitrogen perfect. Well, that's fine. I'll take that for my grass anyway. And this is where I will leave you for the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.